Dímelo mi gente, what up? It's your boy Gus from Gus Filler Jewelry, back with another Q&A Fridays. You guys already know the deal by now. We put up a post on Instagram, we ask you on YouTube, and I'm here to answer those questions today. Today's episode is jam-packed. We got questions like why aren't hollow chains soldered together? And of course, the grand old question, are Rolexes a good investment? Today, we're gonna finally find out. Ben, our new producer, Creep is gone. Roll the intro music.
Gus via Jewelry.
Question number one comes from Ran2317. He wants to know, why are hollow Miami Cuban chains not fully closed? They have little slits in each link that would allow water inside. Hollow links are casted links. Since gram is sold typically in chains by weight, then of course it would make a lot more sense for someone on a budget to buy something that doesn't necessarily have as much weight, but you want that same look. So here come hollow Cuban links. It's a 3D printed link that's casted. Now, most of the time they're assembled by a machine. They are casted to have a slit in the middle because when they're put on a casting tree, they're opened. And what the machine does is once it's casted, it cuts it and closes it. But the more expensive versions of these casted links will then put it into a different machine. Once they've been assembled, they'll put a little bit of solder in there and they'll go to kind of like a conveyor belt. Once that solder is melted in these ovens to a certain extent, it closes that link forever. But the cheaper ones don't do that. So all they do is just close it as much as they can. They make that slit to somewhere that's not visible to the naked eye, and that's where you get that slit in the middle. Hollow links are not that good of an investment. Ultimately, if you are buying gold in general, what you should be buying is the actual weight of it. So if you're buying hollow for the look and you want to flex, all right, go ahead and do so. But for the most part, my recommendation is save up a little bit more bread and get a solid one, or just get a thinner one. Yeah, it doesn't look as good, but ultimately you're getting more solid gold out of it. However, buy what you want, goddammit. Don't let any of these influencers tell you what you could buy. You do whatever the hell you want to. Next question. Question number 2 comes from Sideswipe. He wants to know, why is the labor cost of silver chains so different to the labor cost of gold chains? Such a good and important question. And it all boils down to the risk of loss. Silver is a relatively inexpensive metal. It's anywhere from 25, 23, maybe 26 bucks on a high day. The same ounce of fine gold is anywhere from $1,900 to $2,000 nowadays. When you make the chains, this metal creates loss. In the actual melting of the chain, there's gonna be loss. In the filing of the chain, there's gonna be loss. That loss in material in silver is a lot less significant than it is in gold. And because of that, you charge less for silver. Now, is the workload exactly the same? Yes. The process is identical. However, how I deal with the metal and how I deal with the loss makes one price point completely different. If I make a 500 gram, 24 karat gold chain, I'm probably gonna lose anywhere from 5 to 7%. And that 5 to 7% of pure 24 karat gold could mean hundreds of dollars. Now, if I just charge the same thing I do for 14 karat, the loss is gonna be completely different, and the value of that ultimately diminishes my profit. So I have to charge more. Silver is cheaper because the material is cheaper. Great question. Next one. Question number 3 comes from the Cavalier 2004. He wants to know, is Rolex watches a good investment? The answer is, it depends. Certain watches that are very, very high in demand can be good investments because you're gonna purchase it at a certain price point and they are going to only increase in value. Say for instance, a Panda Daytona, 116500 LN, that particular watch is a great investment. The retail is about $12,000 to $13,000 and they trade right now anywhere from $31,000 to $33,000. That would be a good investment. But how many of those watches are gonna be the majority? Not very. In fact, there's only about 4, maybe 3 of them in the lineup right now that you can genuinely say are good investments. The rest of them is a way of parking your money. If I go out there and I spend, say for instance, on a brand new all gold Sky Dweller, I spent $46,000. Chances are if I ever go to sell that in the gray market, I'm gonna get about $4,000 to $5,000 on the retail. Same thing with a Rolex Presidential, same thing with a Rolex Sub, depending on which one you have, maybe even a Sea Dweller. They're gonna trade at retail or just under. So the full answer is, it depends. It really boils down to what's the reference number that you're buying and how much in demand is it? Now, I'm not saying that you can't just buy a sleeper out there, because those do exist. Say for instance, an OP with a Tiffany dial. Nobody had a clue that that would be trading at 2, 3, 4, 5 times the retail. That was a $6,000 watch that trades right now at $20,000. Now, how often do those come around? Not very often. So don't buy watches thinking that you're gonna be the next Bill Gates, because you're not. You're gonna buy the watch, you're gonna be able to use something that you really love, and if ultimately you wanna upgrade or get rid of that watch, you're gonna get a good chunk of that investment back. So no, it's not really a good investment unless you get the right one. Next question. Question number 4 comes from Fanny Wayne 1920. He wants to know, can 24 karat jewelry get a mirror finish? Yes, for the most part. Anytime that you add any sort of alloy, you are introducing newer, shinier, anti-corrosion metals into the mix. That allows shines to stay longer, and of course, it doesn't allow the pieces to get scratched as easily. Hence why 925 silver exists, why 950 silver exists as well. We're trying to preserve the actual metal itself. So, can 24 karat get a mirror finish? Yes. I do 24 karat, they do get a mirror finish, but how long that actually lasts is very little, because the actual metal is so incredibly soft. I've made 24 karat chains and they've come out beautiful, and when the customer opens them up, they're completely blown away by the actual shine of it. It's such a beautiful, nice hue. But the minute they start wearing it, the minute they start sweating on it, it loses its shine relatively quick. And to get that shine back is almost impossible. You're gonna need a lot of maintenance. And then eventually you're gonna need to buff it if you do want that mirror finish. And of course, you don't wanna buff 24 karat chain because you're gonna lose weight. And every single one of those little grams is gonna cost hundreds of dollars. So yes, 24 karat can get a mirror finish, but the reason why you don't like to do them is because they'll lose that shine relatively fast. Take care of them, but just know that the higher carats are more susceptible to opaqueness. Is that even a word? You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. Next question. Question number 5 and final question. Ben the Sly wants to know, should I buy 10 karat, 14 karat, or 18 karat gold chains? Do they have better resale value in the long run? There's a common misconception out there that 18 karat has a higher resale value than 10 karat, than 14 karat, etc. Some people say, oh no, you should only buy 24 karat or 22 karat because over time you're gonna get more money back. And that couldn't be more of a lie that just gets constantly regurgitated on the internet. What you are purchasing whenever you go to resell something is the percentage of gold in the actual mix itself. If I buy 10 karat, when I go to resell it, I'm only buying the 41.7% of gold that is in your chain. So let's just use a kilo chain, for example. If you buy an 18 karat chain, 750 grams of that 18 karat kilo chain is going to be fine gold. And when you go to resell it, that's the only percentage that I'm purchasing. So it doesn't matter whether it's 10 karat, 14, or 18, because it's the percentage of the fine gold. That's the only thing that's going to dictate the resale value. So if I purchased something in 1993 that was 18 karat, and I also purchased something that was 10 karat, say for instance, I go to resell it now in 2024, it doesn't really matter whether it's 18 or 10 karat because I'm just buying the fine gold percentage that's in the mix. So stop saying that 18 karat is better because it's gonna sell for more money. No, it's not. It's still 75% of the price of the ounce at the time that I buy it. Does that make sense? Stop saying it. It's not true. That about does it for another Q&A Fridays. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Of course, if you guys have any other comments or questions or concerns, please drop it down below. And of course, if you're searching for a Cuban link chain, bracelet, or a watch, visit GusVillaJewelry.com. We'll be more than happy to help you guys out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Holla.